about Twister, the movie, not the game I played with your sister. Bazinga. Speak up! The movie starts with a young girl named Jo. Her parents and her barely escape a tornado before it destroys their house. And unfortunately, her dad dies. Womp womp. Now, 27 years later, Jo has grown up to become a weather scientist and storm chaser. Together with her partner and soon-to-be ex-husband Bill, they designed Dorothy, a machine that's supposed to get sucked up by a tornado and release all its balls, which are tiny little sensors, and it can gather a bunch of data about the tornado, marking a huge scientific discovery because apparently in the 90s we didn't know a lot about tornadoes. And this data will help Jo and Bill develop a warning system that will warn people 15 minutes before a tornado arrives. Unfortunately, Bill is divorcing Jo, and he arrives on the scene with his new fiancée, Melissa, trying to get Jo to sign the divorce papers. But Jo doesn't have time for that. She has to go chase down a tornado with her team. And of course, Bill and Melissa join her because Bill used to storm chase with Jo, and he misses that thrill of the chase. Now, Jo and Bill have a nemesis named Jonas, who has his own storm chasing team, and he also stole their design for the Dorothy and is trying to beat them to a scientific discovery. Now, some quick facts about tornadoes. They are defined by strength on the Vegeta scale, with an F0 being basically nothing, an F1 being a light tornado, all the way up to an F5 being the strongest. Now, Jo and Bill encounter an F1 tornado, but they don't have enough time to set up Dorothy to scan it. Then they encounter an F2 tornado, but before they can do anything about it, they get caught in the middle of it and it spins their truck around. After that, they encounter an F3 tornado, but before they can get there, the Dorothy machine falls off their truck. And then with the tornado winds blowing around them, Jo and Bill decide it's a good time to talk about our feelings. And they confess that they're still very much in love with each other. But unfortunately, Bill's new fiancée overhears this on the radio. The team decides to take a break at a drive-in movie. But then, in one of the greatest scenes in film history, an F4 tornado appears out of nowhere and wreaks havoc. After they barely escape with their lives, Melissa ends up breaking off the engagement with Bill because she knows that Bill and Jo are meant to be together. Unfortunately, that same F4 tornado also tore through Jo's aunt's house, so Bill and Jo and the rest of their team go to save her from the crumbling house. And finally, our team finds an F5 tornado. But it seems Jonas has beat them to the punch. And then all of a sudden, the F5 tornado sucks up Jonas in his truck and causes him to explode. Bye-bye, Jonas. That's when Jo and Bill rig their truck to run right into the tornado with the Dorothy machine, and they jump out of it. And finally, our team finds some success. Dorothy gets sucked up in the tornado and deploys her balls. Which means Jo and Bill just made scientific history. Too bad they don't have enough time to celebrate before the F5 tornado starts chasing them down. They end up tying themselves to a pipe and just riding it out. The movie ends with Jo and Bill having survived the F5 tornado and made their scientific discovery. And of course, they share a passionate kiss. That's the movie Twister! Now you're ready to see the new sequel, Twisters, now in theaters. Universal, please sponsor me. Speak up!